No, I'm just really excited, Kimmie. I'm so happy to be doing this call with you. We've been talking about it for a really long time. And I signed on with Kimmie for her to be my personal health coach, which I tell you is not for the faint of heart because this woman will hold you accountable. And one of our very first meeting, she talked to me about liver detoxification. And the way that she described it to me, and I'm a novice at this compared to Kimmie, but the way that she described it to me was it's the filter of your body. So you can be pouring all the supplements in your body that you want. You get those big expensive supplements, all of the organic this and the this and that. But if your filter is blocked, you just have all these toxins that are sludging around through your body. And so she talked to me about detoxification, taught me so much. And it was just immediately we knew that everyone needed to hear that information. So I'm just glad that we're finally here and you're finally sharing, Kimmie. Thank you so much.
Hey, well, thank you so much for having me be a part of the community, like Soul. I consider myself to be a part of that community because even though I'm not really a gym person, I find myself there uh, quite frequently now because I enjoy the community and moving my body in a functional way. And so I consider myself to be part of that. And I consider SNS, Stephanie and Sunny, to be also good friends. And so I appreciate their companionship on this journey to wellness. We're all on this journey. It's not for just you. If you're someone who feels like, damn, I'm on the struggle bus, and everyone is, we're all on a journey to wellness. And we have some ups and downs. And the key is just keeping your feet pointed in the right direction. And even through the ups and downs, you will still be on the right path. So I am going to hit record, and then we'll be talking a lot about detoxification, as I shared before. If there's time at the end and you guys aren't tired of hearing me drone on about it, then by all means, we'll do some open Q&A. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to get going on detoxification. Right, let's see if I can move this around. Right. Okay. So welcome everybody to Detoxification 101. The what, the why, the how, and more is more when it comes to detoxification. So we're going to add in a little bit of more also. When I'm doing these master class series, I've done a few, and people are going to start calling me disingenuous because every time I talk about a particular subject, I say, this one's my favorite, like I really love metabolism or mitochondria, and I also really love detoxification. So I think the thing is, I love it all. I love about learning about how empowering it is that we have so much power over our own biology. And the power over our own biology translates to power over your wellness journey, your vitality, how long you're going to live. I mean, it's really remarkable when we think about it. And I just think I'll share something to start. Longevity is probably my area of specialty because I love it. And what we love, we're generally really good at. So inside my integrative health coaching practice and my life, I really focus on longevity, helping people live better longer. And I can tell you that in our lifetime, we are going to see people living into the 100s, and not into the 100s as we might think of old age, meaning we're dependent on many pharmaceuticals, we're not feeling our best, doing our best. I mean, living with lots of vitality into that 100 years. Some of my favorite biohackers say you can get to 120 years old with some really dialed in biology and lifestyle habits. If you want to live beyond 120, we're going to have to really kind of go to that next level of biohacking. But how exciting is that this idea of our bodies growing older and decaying and becoming, decrepit and aging is no longer true. And so I love that. And detoxification is a big part of it. So today we're going to talk about what detoxification is, why we should do it regularly, because everyone should, not just you, all of us. How your liver works. Stephanie talked about this a little bit, as the master conductor of detoxification. And you could even argue of your entire body. The liver has over 500 main functions. So I would say the boss. We'll call the liver the boss. And how to play the long game of detoxification, because detoxification is not a short game. Despite what you might hear on the interwebs from Susie Q, social influencer, about this or that, detoxification is really a long game, and it's really a lifestyle. And I want to help you get started on that path. So I use this quote with every masterclass that I do, because it's true, and it is ground zero. It is the starting point of everything that we do. Nearly every health problem we face can be explained by how well the cells in our body create and use energy. 40 trillion of them. If our cells don't have good energy, if they can't create and use good energy, then that looks like autoimmune issues. It might look like diabetes or prediabetes. It might look like stubborn weight gain. It might look like low energy. It might look like hyper or hypothyroidism. It might look like fatty liver disease. It might look like PCOS, infertility, brain fog, ADHD, any problem with the way our cells, 40 trillion of them, create and use energy, can manifest into downline symptoms and really signals of disease or incoming disease. And so this is really, really important. And we're sort of led to believe that the way our body works is supposed to be complicated. And I want to stand for that. It doesn't have to be. And I want to teach as many people as I can how it actually works. And really, I mean, the very basics of it, Dr. Casey Means is one of my favorite people. And, she says, listen, if your cells can create and use energy, you're doing all right. And so we're going to tie back detoxification to that as well. Hold on, let's see if I can go to the next. Okay, so if that's true and you guys want to believe me, then what would be some killers of good energy conversion? Outside, right? It's the middle of the day. He's sacked out. He's young. He looks really not that happy in his current state, and he's tired, and he's got low energy. He's probably depriving his cells. And so, what does that look like? All right, some killers of good energy: chronic inflammation. I mean, it's on Time Magazine a few years ago as like this silent killer. Inflammation can be summed up as when our cells are afraid of something, and if our cells are afraid of something, then our tissue is afraid of something, our body is afraid of something, and there are alarm bells going off, causing our immune system to be on alert. So chronic inflammation. Number two, mitochondrial dysfunction. In each one of our 40 trillion cells, there's a little mitochondria guy, and his job is to pull glucose up and to pull these nutrients up out of our bloodstream and use them and create energy for ATP, cellular energy. When that stops working, then our cells can't create and make good energy. And the last one is oxidative stress. Those would be damaging molecules in the body. And that's the one we're really going to target today with detoxification. And so we'll be talking a lot about that one. So I feel like I've started with a little doomsday, but really the thing I want to share and I want you to take away, if you don't remember anything about detoxification, you don't remember anything about what I said, I want you to remember that you can influence every one of those 40 trillion cells. You, not your doctor, not your, guru, not your healthcare. You have all the power. You have every right, and you have every possibility to regain this health sovereignty that you can influence with very simple lifestyle habits. And detoxification is one of those. And so we're going to talk about how we can really tee our body up for good toxification and why we should do it. We're just going to start out with detoxification. It's a noun, and it's the process of removing toxic substances or qualities. Used to be, I don't know if you think back, did you ever hear your grandmother or your mother or a generation previous to you, a relative, talk about detoxification? Probably not. The only time you might hear that would be if someone was in a place of alcohol drug abuse. We'd say, oh, well, they're going to go detox, you know. So we never really talked about detoxification, never really heard about detoxification. And it wasn't something um, that our previous generations really talked about or really practiced, although they didn't, I might argue they didn't really have to. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. A better and easier way, in my opinion, for you to remember what detoxification really means in this modern world is giving our liver a break so that it can catch up and then work optimally to keep ourselves happy and good energy creators. So when I think about detoxification, I think about one thing, and that's the liver factory and the liver foreman and all the workers that work there get a vacation. And so when you want to think about it that way, detoxification equals our liver gets a break, our body gets a break. It's on vacation so that it can catch up from this backlog that we often find on our liver to-do list. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second too. But sometimes making a definition very relatable to our body, for me, makes it easier. So I think about our energy system being how well our mitochondria can pull nutrients out of our bloodstream and create energy. There's a little factory in every cell. And then our liver is an actual factory. It has workers and they're tired. And so they need a break. And that's what detoxification is. So why would we need to do detoxification work? In some circles of a more conventional look at medicine and a disease-based state of the body, you might hear some old school medical doctors say, oh, that's just bull malarkey. We don't need to do any detoxification. Your body comes with detoxification organs, and that's true. But our world doesn't look the same as it did 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago. The Cheerios that your grandmother ate or that your mother ate or that you ate as a child are very different than the Cheerios available today. And that's in part due to the spray, to the glyphosate, to those chemicals that we now spray on our foods to create more food for more people. And it's really a hazard. And never mind the other toxic ingredients coming into our environment. So, if you look on the right, this was the world view maybe 30, 40 years ago. And to my left or to your right would be today. I mean, we're really living in a very toxic environment. Right now, I would say that you cannot dismiss the presence of toxins. And if they're there in our environment, then they're also within our body, as above, so below. That concept really applies there. There are 77,000 man-made chemicals in our world, and I believe that number is probably much higher. I believe that is an older study. Many of these are known carcinogens, and many of them were never tested to see if they were a known carcinogen. And so we're going to assume that they are. So as an example, at a kind of more global macro level, we have groundwater, runoff from pesticides, pollution from chemicals, factories, antibiotics in our water supply, our public water supply, other medications found in water supply, animal sewage running straight off into our water supply, factory farming. This is a really interesting one. We now are factory farming fish, and that creates more waste and more toxic waste than you can imagine. Our food is covered with cancer-causing agents, known poisons that many countries don't even allow. And I think a really good way to kind of know and prove that this is true is 232 industrial chemicals were found in fetal cord blood. And this is a well-documented study. So, the toxins are there. In our homes, our peaceful, nice places of rest, we're going to find things like flame retardants on our rugs, our carpets, mattresses, aerosol sprays, insulation, paint, air ducts, cleaning supplies, candles, VOCs. The average home is going to have 62 VOCs. And VOCs, if you don't know what that is, that's a volatile organic compound. And it's a gas that can be released from both a solid or a liquid. Both short and long-term health impacts. And indoors, the measure of VOC is 10 times that of outside. And so our homes, even like our places of serenity and peace, have some toxicity. Our makeup, our shampoo, our deodorant, our perfume, our hair gel, our toothpaste, our mouthwash, our soap, our sunscreen, our self-tanner, And the list goes on and on. I mean, the beauty counter, I mean, the beauty business is a big one, right? It's a big business. And think about how the average woman is quite literally bathing herself in toxic soup. They have morning routines. I mean, how many get ready with me's do you see on TikTok and the Instagrams? The get ready with me with all of these promoting these products that are quite literally toxic soup. And so the list goes on and on. Our skin is one of our detox pathways. It can absorb in and it can release out. And so it's really important to think about that. And so you sort of take this image. The slide is, yes, your liver can do the job of detoxification, and your kidneys and your skin, your detox pathways, your colon can do the job of detoxification, but not after a certain point. After a certain point, the toxic body burden becomes so high that it can't do that anymore. And when the toxic body burden becomes so high, I'm going to give you a guess to where that might be stored. So it can't be released because the liver can't do the conversion anymore. And I'm going to teach you about that conversion and how it works. It's stored in the fat cells of our body. And so we wonder why our exercise routines, our good, healthy eating routines, if you've ever experienced that, wait a minute, I do all the things. Kimmye, I do all the things and nothing works. The needle doesn't move. I don't feel better. I don't have more energy. I still have this like tube of fat around my midsection. I'm aging in dog years. I'm sleepy in the middle of the day. I don't sleep well at night. All of these indicator lights going off in the body, even when we are doing everything right, could quite simply be that our liver has reached a point of this trash can. It can't hold anymore. It can't do any more conversions until it's given the chance to catch up. And that's really good news. Every organ cell in our body is renewable. It is able to be restored, rejuvenated, kind of like back to factory setting, which is really exciting. We just need to create the conditions to do that. And so, yes, your body comes factory setting with a liver and with kidneys and with a colon, with skin as a big detox pathway to help us, but it just gets overburdened. And that's why we have to work on detoxification as a long game, as a long strategy, and as a long lifestyle. So the liver, we'll call him he or she, is the master conductor in the body. So imagine this teacher that you see on the slide, and her job as a conductor would be someone like herding cats, probably teaching these beautiful young musicians to all play in symphony and in concert. The liver is the liver's job, the foreman of the liver, we'll assume it's a factory, is like this teacher. It has to convert all the nutrients into our diets into substances that, one more time, powers up our cells. It has to remove the toxic materials. It has over 500 vital functions. So I'm going to say, so goes your liver, so goes your health. And that is not my original statement. That's an Ayurvedic medicine statement from long, long ago. So goes your liver, so goes your health. If your liver is healthy, you are healthy. Kind of the as above, so below mantra again. So I want to talk a little bit about liver detoxification, even though now we know that we can't do detoxification. We can't leave our body to its own devices in this modern world. We've proved that toxins are real. And so now we've talked about the important job of the liver and how detoxification is kind of central there. And so I want to talk about what that looks like. So the liver detoxification happens in 3 phases. And remember, this is just one of the liver job. I mean, it's doing a lot of other things too, but in terms of detoxification, there are 3 phases. In phase 1, the liver factory people go around your body and pull out all the fat soluble endogenous and exogenous toxins from the body. So those are big words, but they really have simple meanings. The fat soluble endogenous toxins are those toxins created just from our body doing its daily job, metabolism and taking in food, converting it, the waste system. There, any factory creates some waste. And so those bacterial toxins, those would be the things that our body is just creating every day. The exogenous toxins are those toxins that occur environmentally. And so the phase one is the liver factory guys go around the body, they do their little scan, and they pull in all the fat soluble toxins. The second phase, phase two, the liver uses certain nutrients in the body to convert this pile of fat soluble toxins into water soluble toxins so that it can be excreted. Water soluble toxins are less toxic and can be excreted via the kidneys and the other detox pathways, the colon, the skin, sweating. And so we cannot excrete a fat soluble toxin. So that conversion is very important. And often I'll see people with either a problem with phase one or a problem with phase two, or even maybe not supporting good lifestyle habits for phase three. So the message is not to get caught up in the details of this, is that you want to be supporting all three phases of detoxification. And I'm going to tell you how to do that. So in phase one, we need these things to do that well. All the B vitamins, and they should be methylated. Folic acid, glutathione, that's a master antioxidant of the liver. BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, flavonoids, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, selenium, copper, zinc, manganese, CoQ10, and bioflavonoids. All of those things in our body work together to help the liver factory folks gather the fat soluble toxins. And I also think it's important to know that the liver foreman, the factory foreman guy, and his workers do this 24/7, 365. They don't ever get a break. And so to the extent we make this easier on them, the better health and condition our liver remains. So this is phase one. In phase two, the conversion to water soluble requires glycine, taurine, glutamine, NAC, and acetylcysteine. You might have heard about that one in the recent global pandemic, cysteine and methathione. And so that's phase two. The body just requires these ingredients to do phase two really well. And that's taking all this fat soluble toxicity, creating it and converting it to water solubility. And there you have it. So anything that we can do to help this process along, the better we are. It is a process that can become an overburden for the body, especially in our modern lifestyles. It's a process that happens 24/7, 365. And that's what I mean when I say don't fall prey to this idea that detoxification is a quick and done. It is a ongoing effort. I would like for you to take on this idea that it's a lifestyle, and it's part of, just like you brush your teeth and you go to work out, you eat healthy food. I hope you make juice. I'm not even going to get started talking about how good that is for us, because we'll be here all night. But I think doing all those things are part of, your normal healthy routine. But I want you to think about adding in some of these things on a daily basis. Things like dry brushing, an Epsom salt bath, infrared sauna. I mean, that one, I could go on and on about that one as well. Visiting an infrared sauna a few times a week, tongue scraping, fasting, even intermittent fasting, giving our body a break from that constant work of digestion is very important. The body can achieve rest. Organic juice, very few things work like a magic bullet in the body. Organic juice is damn close, folks. It's damn close. So I'm going to Again, I'm not going to go off on that because you guys will be like, oh my God, the juice lady's back. So organic juice, rebounding. You can't see it, but my rebounder is right here. $60 from Amazon, moving the lymph system around. Your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. And so when we can rebound, just jump up and down. If you don't have a rebounder, jump up and down for a few minutes. And walks in nature are very good for detoxifying, because remember, our homes 10 times higher VOC readings than outside our homes. And so, and that's even those of us who really work hard at creating a non-toxic home. So I want to stop here, and I think I'm going to stop here and talk about, am I going the wrong way? Yep, I'm going the wrong way. Hold on, see if I can go back. Sorry, you all. Okay, I want to stop here and I want to talk about a great, what I think to be kickstart to your detoxification effort. And it is something that I recommend. Well, first of all, I do it every quarter, and I recommend it to every private integrative coaching client that I work with, everybody in Juice School. I mean, I can't say enough about it, because it's sort of like the easy button to get your body into the mode of being really, really good at detoxification. And it is very effective at lowering that toxic body burden. And the toxic body burden is essentially, how full is your trash can? Because we talked about the liver as a factory with a factory foreman, and that's the boss guy. And then there are tons of workers every day, based on our lifestyle, our toxic body burden, what we're exposed to, the food we eat, the water we drink, the things we put on our body, the cleaning supplies that we use in our home, the laundry detergent with the smelly formaldehyde, the laundry sheets, all these things. The liver boss guy gets a list from the body. If you can envision this as a metaphor, he gets a list and it says to do Wednesday. And here's the list of activities: things to detox, things to remove, lots of work to do. Well, at some point, they can only get through half the list. And so the list, the things that don't get done, go to a backlog till tomorrow. And then the next day's work come in, and the liver factory people can't do it all either. And then it just piles up. And the next thing you know, liver factory guys have a backlog of like this much stuff. And they just can't get to it, because our body is the process happens 24/7, 365. And so what do? What's the counter measure to that? And it is, in my opinion, doing a seasonal detoxification, a very mindful seasonal detoxification. And then again, detoxification is not one and done. It's a long game, and there's some strategies and things to do along the way, in between each season, to keep your body, to keep your environment and your body as clean as possible, so that this doesn't become an overburden for your liver. And so one of the things that I think is such a great gift to those of us that want to really support detoxification is this detoxification from Equal Life. And you guys are all members of the Soul community, so you know they have them there. And I can tell you that I would consider Dr. Cabral, who created this, a personal friend. I would consider him a personal friend. You know, I have a cell phone number. We are friends. I know him. I know his heart in this career and in this field. I first met him in 2017, where we were both at the same Integrative Health Conference, and we attended several others. I sponsored his Integrative Health Practitioner conference last year. I had dinner with him. I mean, he's an amazing human being. And I think it's really important to know, in this sea of offerings in the integrative health space, some people are just in it for the really good work of it. And Dr. Cabral is, and anything that he does, and anything that his company, Equal Life is his company. He formulates all the supplements for Equal Life. He not only does himself, but for his family, his 2 young girls, his wife. And I can tell you that every quarter he's doing a seasonal detox. He leads that with his community with this thing. And so he created it because he's really well versed in Ayurvedic medicine. And he created it for that reason. And I think the goal, as he shared with me many years ago when he was sort of thinking this through, was, I want something that can be done really easily. Because if you go back to the slides, I don't know if I'm going the right way. Yes, I am. Okay, if we go back to the slides, this is what your body needs in phase 1. This is what your body needs in phase 2 to do it well. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. And so I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but one of the things I love about the protein powder, I use it every single day of my life. Very rarely do I not. I make one for my kids. I sent my children to college with it because it's all the vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, cellular metabolism, cellular detox, and the only plant-based clean protein powder I have ever seen that has all the ingredients that you see here for phase 1 and phase 2 liver detox, all in this protein powder. So this is something I use on a daily basis. And I think you'll find that your bowel motility is better. I think you'll find that it is it's like an all-in-one. And if you're somebody who takes a lot of supplements or is interested in supplementation, you do have to be mindful that you have to have the basics. So example, if you're taking vitamin D, well, you need to be having vitamin K. And if you're taking zinc, you need to make sure you're having copper. And so this is kind of like your insurance policy, that you have all the cofactors. And so this is part of the 7-day Dr. Cabral functional medicine detox. He created it. He formulated it. I can't tell you how many times I've done it now. It's very easy to do. It comes with great instructions. The first 2 days, you're going to be drinking mostly, the first 2 days, you're only going to be drinking shakes. And then the days 3 through 7, you eat from a very clean list from your little food planner. And it's very simple. It's very simple to do, very easy to do. And then in the mornings, you take 2 Ayurvedic detox tablets and 2 in the evening, 2 functional medicine detox tablets. And so it all comes together. And the reason that I like this one, the reason I have my clients do it, the reason that I do it is because it's pretty tough to find all of these things. And it's pretty tough to find all these things. But knowing that I'm doing this every day, I'm not always doing the functional medicine detox, by the way. That's a 1-week program. This is designed to take you 7 days. But then ongoing, I can't say enough about this. And even if you didn't want to do the full detoxification, then I think one of the best things you could do for your body is to begin a regimen of using this as your protein powder and blending a smoothie for yourself every day. I taught my weekly juicery crew and my clients for years, like 2 scoops of this, a little bit of clean almond milk, and a handful of blueberries, and you're off to the races. I mean, you've given your body great methylation support. You've supported, great detoxification pathways. You've done so many things. You've given your body the whole vitamin suite, including the B's, methylated. I can't think of anything else you need. So I don't even take a multivitamin because this would replace that. So that is what the community at Soul is going to, I think, potentially offer every quarter as a community. If not every quarter, maybe a couple times a year. We'll have to ask Stephanie at the end. But it is a great thing to do with the community because it's fun to do together. And I usually take part in Dr. Cabral's community because, again, it's fun to do. And I've done that several times. And so one of the things that I'm going to do after this call, if you are so inclined, and you want to share your email address, I will send you a couple things. The first is a toxicity quiz where you can actually see what is my total body burden as of today. And that might give you, like, some people are very data driven, and I think that's great. Let's see what the data actually says. And then you could do it again in 6 months, and just kind of knowing this for yourself. Listen, no one else is going to keep track of this for you. This is something that everybody should know and everybody should take stock of, in my opinion, at least once a year. And then I'm also going to send you a toxic ingredient list. And this is like moisturizers, oral care. It's 3 pages. And then it gives you some clean brands as substitutions, because like I said, it's never just one thing. And sometimes my teenage daughters will say, "Oh, Mom, it's just like one thing from Sephora. It's just like one, like, I don't know, whatever, body balm, whatever it is." And I say like Annie and Ellen, but it's not just one thing. It's the combination of all the things that you might be doing. And so thankfully I have converted them both to clean laundry detergent. And I was just sharing with my daughter Ellen when we were in Georgia. She's like, "Oh, mom, my roommates, I'm afraid I know they're going to use Tide or some stinky detergent." I'm like, "Oh my God, we got to convert them." You know, so I've at least made that stand, but it's never just one thing. It's this add up of things. And if you can envision that garbage pail as sort of your body where it's just overflowing at some point, and then we wonder why we have autoimmune issues, or we wonder why our body isn't responding to some interventions like exercise and healthy eating. And it could be that we have just too much detoxification work that needs to happen before everything can work really well. So I just wanted to say that I think as a group at Soul, you're going to have an opportunity to participate in this. And I can't think of a better, $99. And I think it's even on sale. And so I'll have to let Stephanie give you the details of that, but it could not be easier. On days 1 and 2, you're going to drink shakes just mixed with water. And then days 3 through 7, you'll have 1 or 2 shakes, and then you'll have food from this little cute handy food guide. And it is the simplest thing to follow. I mean, you could not mess this up. It's so easy. And it's really eating whole real foods. And he gives you the exact amount, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very easy to do. And for 7 days, once a quarter, I mean, you're giving your body a huge gift of longevity and wellness. And so you're going to have an opportunity to do that. But you can do detoxification without doing something like this. You can absolutely do that. And I would say it's not one or the other. It's yes and. Yes, do the seasonal detox and be really focused on the long game of detoxification. So eating the most nutritious, real organic food without pesticide exposure. There, I can't imagine how knowing that glyphosate is a known carcinogen, banned in many countries, and in conventional farming, there is nobody, not one human, is going to the farm to inspect to see if they have followed delay to harvest recommendations. So the pesticide glyphosate says, Mr. Farmer, after you spray this, you have to delay harvest from some period of time so that the sun, the environment, the heat, and the rain will dilute this spray to a safe level. No one is watching that. And so quite literally, you could be eating produce that was sprayed one day and harvested the next. It's just a very dangerous game to play. The second really dangerous game to play is avoiding these industrial refined seed oils. And so if you don't listen to anything else I say tonight, write this down on a piece of paper. The only safe oils for you to use as someone who is chasing good health and working on detoxification and good cellular energy and living vibrantly for a long time are olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil. Any other oil by any other seemingly healthy name, like sunflower oil, saffron oil, any of that bullshit is not good. You need olive oil to use as salad dressings. You need avocado oil for high heat sauteing and cooking. And coconut oil can be used for baking even. You can melt it and use it for baking. So you don't need any of those refined oils. In fact, one of my favorite biohackers, I just listened, he wrote a book. He's a medical doctor, and the book is titled Lies I Told in Medical School. And so, he's basically saying, listen, gosh, I learned it's just not right. And he said he'd rather smoke a cigarette than eat a French fry that had been fried in an industrial seed oil, because you might say, why in the world, Kimmye? That seems ridiculous. It does seem ridiculous, but listen to this. Those refined industrial seed oils, those omega-6 fats, have a half-life in our fat store of 3 to 6 months. When you smoke a cigarette, that combustion is gone. And listen, I'm not promoting cigarette smoking by any stretch. I just say that's how hazardous these industrial seed oils can be for our health we haven't even talked about the microbiome. That's another masterclass. That's a really good one that I'll have to do at some point. The gut microbiome, it's hazardous. And so we want to be avoiding that. That's good detoxification strategy. Our body doesn't have to do that. We want to be sleeping. We want to be working on our sleep. Naturally, these things are all sort of related. When we're doing good detoxification, we are generally sleeping better. When we're sleeping better, we're working on detoxification. So it's a little circuitous, but we need to be working on that too. And we need to be moving our body. Our bodies were designed to move. Remember, how well we create and use energy defines how healthy we are, period. It all begins there. And movement and moving our body signals to the mitochondria to pull glucose up, pull the nutrients up, pull the glucose up out of our bloodstream and use it and convert it to ATP and convert it to energy. And when that happens, we don't have metabolic issues. We do not have insulin resistance. We do not have prediabetes. We don't have any of those things, even as we age. And so movement, very important. Clean water. Our water supply is toxic. You need to be seeking out the cleanest water supply that you can, have water delivered. If you're buying bottled water, look for distilled water. Reducing your toxin exposure, taking a look at your personal beauty products and saying, okay, what could I absolutely live without? And start reducing that or finding a cleaner alternative. Picking a cleaning supply, a laundry detergent, a cleaning supply, and saying, okay, how could I up level this? In fact, in Juice School in September, I'm doing a class about making our own household cleaning supplies because it's so much less expensive and it's so clean and it's actually sort of fun. And so I'm doing that because it's not hard to do and it's easy and you'll save money. Giving your body the vitamins, minerals, nutrients it needs for phase 1, phase 2 liver detoxification. To Dr. Cabral's credit, he created the easy button. And so every day I've made, just so that you know, my daughter Annie is still home from school. Denny's home from school. My husband Dennis was here for lunch. I made 4 of these shakes today. 4, one for each of them and me. And so I really practice what I preach on that. I just feel that my body works better. And there may be a few of you here on this call that have already tried this at Soul and you could provide your testimony, but truly it is, it's remarkable. Okay, so what are some benefits that you might find from going through a functional medicine orthomolecular detoxification program? This one is designed to be 7 days. And then just what would you experience with the longer term of detoxification? Number one, a clear mind, clear thoughts, clear thinking. Our brain is connected to our gut. Our gut is connected to how well our liver is sending nutrients. Everything's connected. And so you'll notice, wow, I can make better decisions. I can think more clearly. I don't have a lot of brain fog. And so that's one thing that you can really look out for. Improved digestion. Gut health matters. And again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because it is a masterclass in and of itself. And that is the gut microbiome and how important it is to nourish that environment in our body. But improved digestion, no question about it. We can see our digestion improves. We have less bloating. We have less icky feeling after we eat. All those things improve. Better sleep. We're going to sleep better when our body is clean and can be at rest, truly at rest. We're going to have increased energy. We're not going to be like the guy on the couch. We're going to be like these kids. They're like, woohoo, that's what we're going to be. We're going to have a lot more energy. We're not going to need to have this like slumpy afternoon nap because we're going to have some nice clean energy. And last but not least, sort of the holy grail, I guess I would say, of benefits, and probably the most sexy and probably the one that everybody really wants to know about is you probably lose some weight. If you've got this stubborn weight gain, then that is your body giving us a signal, not bad, just a signal that something isn't functioning optimally. And so most people experience weight loss when their body can let go of what I'll call the toxic water weight. Most of us walk around with, we'll call it 6 to 7, 8 pounds of toxic water weight. You will notice the reduction and the body letting go of that during a longer juice fast. That's one of the most remarkable things about the whole thing is this. You can actually feel it. Your body lets go of the toxic water weight. You will notice that during the 7-day functional medicine detoxification protocol. Your body can finally say, the liver people are like gone to the beach. They're like, holy moly, we're on vacation. They've got their feet up. They finally can catch up on that backlog of activity. And so, yes, you will lose weight, and the glow is really nice too. I sort of say, like, you don't, find me sort of this overweight, unhealthy looking, juice drinker or someone doing detoxification efforts regularly. You won't, because our skin is a reflection of the inside of our body. If the inside of our body is clean and functioning optimally, and our detox pathways are open and supported, then our skin is going to have a youthful glow at any age. And so those are like the benefits that I think everybody wants to hear about. Okay, so I'm going to send anybody who wants it a toxicity quiz so that you can test out your toxicity level. I'm going to send you the toxicity ingredients. There's 3 or 4 pages, which lists some common things that you might be exposing your body to in the form of a harmful toxin, and then a switch that you might make. And then for anybody who is interested, I am running my first ever detoxification boot camp in August. I think it starts late August, maybe like August 19th. It's 4 weeks, and it is an in-depth weekly training about how you can really get into this detox lifestyle. I'm going to share my product recommendations, my lifestyle recommendations, my life rhythm cadence on getting you into this fall season in a place where detoxification is really built into your routine. And so we're going to do that. I'm going to limit it to 20 students. You guys will have first access to joining that if you want to do that, and you'll get some information about that. I don't know if I'm going to do this again. I've had a few people ask me to do that, and really they've been asking me a lot of detox questions. And I always find when people are asking a lot of those questions, then the group training is really the best way to do it, because I don't know, I just think there's a lot of energy and power in a group. And so it's 4 weeks, 1 training every week. We'll have a group together where we can learn and really practice these things. And then you'll be getting all of my toxicity and detoxification resources. So I'm sharing a few of these tonight, but if you decide to do the detox boot camp, you'll get a lot of things like how to sauna, how to dry brush, how to, because I want these things to be really easy for you. So I'm going to stop my screen share. Yes, it's less than an hour. I was hoping that would be true. And turn it back over to Stephanie, I think is moderating this group. And she can tell me if we're going to do some live Q&A, or if we're going to say that's enough, Kimmye, no more detoxification.
Hey, I love all the Q&A. If anybody has any questions, I didn't see anything come through in the chat.
Okay.
You were very thorough, and I learned so much, Kimmye. I've been over here taking all my notes. I'm a pen and paper girl, so over here
Good.
writing everything down. But if anybody has any questions that you want to drop in the chat, please feel free. All right. Well, we did get some emails. People are really excited to get
Okay.
those
Yeah.
resources. So we'll get everything emailed over to them. And also, we are doing 20% off of the functional medicine detox and the
Good.
GMS. And so everyone's going to get the code to be able to purchase that as well. So
Listen, you will use this for the whole week. And even at full price, is $99 at 20%. You would spend way more than that.
right.
It's really, this is a really good thing for you. If you've never done any detoxification work, it's a great place to start.
Yeah.
And it's a great kickstart to your detoxification lifestyle, we'll call it. Because it is an ongoing thing. It's not one and done. It's a lifestyle. Now I didn't know what to say. Are you guys going to do something like this as a group, quarterly, seasonally at some point? Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
so we're just now introducing it, and we have the kits in chocolate and vanilla at Soul. But if we run out, I know we sold some this week, just kind of gearing up for the detox. So we can order them in any flavor that you like. But yeah, I think doing it quarterly, or I mean, at least twice a year, but I think quarterly is the goal.
Yes. And remember too, that with each season, there is with a season change, it is an auspicious time to do cleansing and detoxification work. Our body is geared to that. It's ready for that, to let go of things that from, let's example, the summer season that aren't going to serve us in the fall to make room for new things to come through. And so auspiciously changing and doing this work with the change of every season is a really good idea, even if, you don't do the full detox, but you're just mindful of, okay, what new detoxification habits can I put into my routine in this new season? And what can I let go of that really didn't serve my highest health? Because we all let unhealthy habits creep in. I mean, especially in the summer, for me, especially in the summer, especially in the summer.
Especially in the summer, you're right about that, but it's that cleanse that really makes you aware
That's
of
right.
what you're doing. So I do think having that quarterly reminder, I know I'm so busy it creeps up on me, but having that quarterly reminder, we always try and do like Whole30 a couple times a year, just to see how much I've actually let creep back into my diet.
Oh,
Oh, and I'm like,
no,
whoa, it just
I
makes you
know.
so much more aware.
I know. And even just following the eating plan of the detox, it's very Whole30-esque. It's very simple to follow. It's very easy. I mean, this could not be hard to do. If I were going to do a training on how to do this, it would take 1 minute.
Right.
It's very simple to do and outlined very well. Well, it's designed for someone to order in the mail and have exact instructions on
Right.
how to do it. And so you guys are really lucky because you'll be in a group community doing it, but it's very, very simple to do. And it is, I mean, you watch the body can relax and let go of this toxic water weight. And you're like, wow, I lost all this weight.
Right.
Really? You just lost a lot of inflammation. You prepare the
Exactly.
body to lose the weight. That's what happens. And so, yeah, it's very exciting. And thank you all for having me. If anybody
Thank
has a question
you.
after, you guys can send it over to me and I'll get you an answer, and I'll send a link for you to share for people if they're interested in getting these things. I'm happy to share them. They're all free. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kimmie. We appreciate you so much. All right. Bye, everyone.